So we are live. Welcome to another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show. This is a special one and with a special person. You know her. She's a connector. She's a master marketer. And I will not, I will not stay long because you will recognize her. She's been on the show several times, and this time she's coming with something special, and that's what we're gonna talk about later. So my guest today is Queen Jenelle Harris, and you will know straight away what she's gonna come up with. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you get ready, sit down because it's gonna be fire what she's bringing to us, and I hope you'll be able to be part of it and come in, ask questions because we are here to serve you and we are here to bring you the best. So I will bring Janelle now, and then we can start the conversation and know what she has in store, and it's gonna be beautiful.
All right, okay, let's get started right into it. And that is the power of labels, right?
On memories, but as I got older, I started to be more aware of some of the abusive sides of.
So hello, good afternoon, Queen Janelle, I would say, because you are the real queen, the connector, and the marketing lady. And you've been on the show, you know your way. But today is more about us women, and you have something special coming up. And I really want the audience to know what it is and how you bringing something, a solution that's gonna help all of us women who are struggling, right now with the pandemic, how, you can help us to go through this difficult part. So let's introduce you, none the way. I know people
Yes.
know you, but a short introduction, and then we'll go and talk about this surprise that you're bringing us.
Yes. Hey, thank you for having me, Maria. How you doing? All across town, the world. So thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here. My name is Jenelle. I'm the CEO and founder of She Exists. She Exists. Wow, this company is growing. Bigger than I expected. But I stand for women. We ignite. We celebrate. We inspire, and we uplift each other. I do mentoring. I do one-on-one coaching. I do workshops. There's so many things that I do. I could go on and on and on. But I stand for women, new business owners, entrepreneurs. So thank you for having me again today.
You always welcome, and I really liked having you because there's always something exciting that you bring each time you
Yes.
come back, and this time it's not different. So just to start the conversation, So, what do you have in store for women? Because as we've seen so far last year and this year, the
Yes.
pandemic has really, been a problem for women, and a lot of the women entrepreneur, have lost their businesses,
Yes.
and they're really struggling. So there's a need to start acting, to start finding solution so that they can at least recover or get something else. So what do what do you propose, and what are the different advice that you have for them, or any tools or anything that you think
Yes.
will be really good for them?
So thank you, Mario. Good question. As I got into the pandemic, we inherit this. You, myself, Lotus, Wanda, we took the initiative, Terrence, and we came on these platforms to educate, inspire, uplift. But doing that was also blessings. We were giving blessings, and blessings were coming back, and we were exposing other businesses. However, I decided to take my life to the next level and challenge myself. I have this conference coming up, and it's called pivoting. How can women pivot during the pandemic? Now, we look at pivoting and we say, my God, well, what is she talking about pivoting? But there's so many ways to pivot, you know, pivoting on the healthcare side, pivoting on the customer service side, the financial side, success sales, all these other things. It is challenging enough of what we're going through. But I notice that women like us have several businesses. We
Mm-hmm.
can't just survive off of one income.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Most of the time, when we start our business, we feel that is it. That's what that avenue looks like, and not realizing that we have to piece the
Mm-hmm.
tools. We have to go fish, we have to bring the fish back, and then we also have to expand. And that's why I started initially with the Expanding Your Territory conferences, because I knew that in order for me to grow, I have to partner myself with other successful women, other opportunities, and also build a lane for the other women coming behind me. Um, One of the things that I often hear from my mentor coaching classes, workshops, is that nobody helps me, or I can't find real people to help me,
Mm-hmm.
or the average estimated price for coaching is astronomical. Now, rightfully so, I believe you have to pay what you're worth. You have to give out what you're worth. That I understand. However, I'm for the young entrepreneurs that are now paving their way. It also starts with the self development of the mindset. So,
Mm-hmm.
I oftentimes admire Wanda's quote where she talks about I'm enough and wake up winning. But we don't really understand what that means. Like wake up winning, I'm enough. We
Mm-hmm.
hear it, we know what it is, but we really have to act upon it. I tell people now that I'm learning and I'm moving, business is an energy. You know, you cannot be in this business if you're still procrastinating. You cannot be in this business if you're still hanging around the same mindset like you. You
Mm-hmm.
always have to move higher. Give yourself, and I talked about the goals, the goals, accomplishing your goals every 2 weeks. You really, we cannot build a platform based on one content,
Mm-hmm.
or based on one dream or one
Mm-hmm.
idea, because that means we are not allowing ourselves to expand and grow. So,
Mm-hmm.
the first step is expanding your territory, because we don't know it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mario, you have so many other business owners that you associate yourself with, because you want to
Mm-hmm.
know and you want to learn and you want to grow. And then you want
Mm-hmm.
to go bring other businesses and expand and collaborate. So I really believe in the collaboration. Sabita and I met. Collaboration, the currency in there is crazy. It's
Mhm.
bananas. But also in this business aspect, you have to be in it to serve. I
Mhm.
know I say this a lot. People laugh, they look at me. In order to expand, you have to serve. I know
Mhm.
I hear, what is she doing now? She has a lot of things, she's doing a lot of things.
Mhm.
Because we know just to have a project going, there's always failures, right, Mario? There's always
Mhm.
failure. Failures are going to come in order for
Mhm.
you to succeed because those are life lessons. So
Mhm.
for me, I developed the She Exists module. And what
Mhm.
the She Exists module is, before She Exists, I was a marketer director for a doctor's office, for a practice. We started
Mhm.
out as a mom and pops, and we grew to 24 offices and 35 doctors. So, what I did was take that module that I've known for 20 years and I
Mhm.
build it into the She Exists brand. And that's building relationships off the gate. You have to build relationships in
Mhm.
order to grow, in order to expand. You have to be able to think outside the box. You know, let's be real. We have a lot of selfish doers, and I get it. I get it. But
Mhm.
we cannot be selfish in this game, in this business, because what I've learned in the giving, there's always, receive. You're always going to receive, and that's where your
Mhm.
faith kicks in. So I started She Exists off of a prayer, a dream. And the one thing that I said to myself is, I want to help other businesses become independent because that's
Mhm.
what I used to do for the doctor's offices and the lawyers and all those
Mhm.
other hospitals. And I started to sow into other businesses, whether it was purchasing a book, from whether it was giving services, whether it was
Mhm.
opening a funnel of the Stepping in Our Territories book. And I started to teach. Now, I
Mhm.
say I started to teach because I had a lot of things that was not download, and it wasn't downloaded for over 15 years, Mario. So when I
Wow.
started to release all this stuff, then it
Mhm.
was like all this overflow was coming, and
Mhm.
then I couldn't keep up with my own stuff, if that makes any sense. So I started to put myself in uncomfortable situations. And when I
Mhm.
say uncomfortable situations, I started to meet other people, meet other demographics, meet other target audience, knock
Mhm.
on doors with people that, little old me. And what I've noticed when I left my territory and went somewhere else, I was
Mhm.
received because I was speaking their language. You
Mhm.
see? And then when I started to speak their language, things start to develop because now I was in a community amongst people like me and the
Mhm.
shakers and the movers. And again, business is energy because it's a momentum and you have to tap into that moment. So I'll give you a scenario. I've known a couple of people years ago. You're talking about
Mhm.
15 years ago, right? And we've
Mhm.
built relationships. They were still here. And where I am now, I'm embarking in the fashion world, interview sides. I said, wait a minute. I've
Mhm.
met these people for these particular reasons. And what
Mhm.
I did was reach back and got them back on track to where we initially started from. So
Mhm.
that is tapping into the mindset, tapping into your blueprint because the blueprint was already set out years ago, but we have to develop the mindset in order to connect the dots. So
Mhm.
where we are now is, I'm still blowing my mind because it's less than a year. um,
Mhm.
Good things are happening out of teaching, out of serving, out of pouring my whole heart without looking for any post any
Mhm.
share, not looking for nothing back, just putting it out there without any reservations. And
Mhm.
I say that because no sooner I did that, the phone would start ringing, the email would start, and then it's like, oh my God. And
Mhm.
was I prepared? Absolutely. I was prepared to take on these projects, to take on these goals, to take
Mhm.
on all the other tasks. So I want to definitely encourage people. We talk about faith, right?
Mhm.
But you really don't know your faith until you have nothing left, right?
Mhm.
So you
Mhm.
kind of have to reach to that point in life where you realize it's not about a cheerleader, it's not about Mary Jane or Sue, it's really not about anybody. It's about you challenging yourselves and taking on life. Okay?
Mhm.
And I'll tell you, I've just ran a marathon before I got here. I think I did 20 projects. Is it healthy? I'm not going to answer that. But I've learned to multitask and navigate through the channels, the storms. It's all about listening, right?
Mhm.
When you get into that relationship with yourself, you are able to channel different things and you're able to, I got up one morning and I
Mhm.
literally envisioned what was tomorrow. Now that
Mhm.
might sound crazy, but what it was God. I'm so in tune to myself. It was saying these are the things that you have to get done. And
Mhm.
the reason being because I was see, here it is. I was procrastinating
Mhm.
on rolling some stuff out. So what happened, there was a project coming up and I had needed to roll out that last project for the next day.
Mhm.
So those are the things when you have tapped into success, the energy, the whole alignment, everything starts to work. And then it starts to actually show you that path. That manifestation is crazy. You
Mhm.
have to be able to walk on faith and knowing that you're going to put these projects together and the dots will connect on its own. So
Mhm.
I say that because I'm back in healthcare and this is all about pivoting. Pivoting is just the one thing. The book wasn't all about the book. The
Mhm.
book was part of the journey. The book was for me to come out of my comfort zone to say, you know what? I'm going to write a book and I'm going to do a collab. I'm going to be dare enough to do a collaboration. But my
Mhm.
goals were bigger than just a book. Okay, that wasn't even the part of the blueprint. That was a lesson, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And I'm back in healthcare. I'm an independent contractor, and I'm able to utilize the She Exists module on the customer service side, the billing side, the human resource side, you know, and this is a part of having your many talents and your gifts is to know who you
Mhm.
are, where you are, and how you can be an asset. Okay. So I've implemented the She Exists module. Let's look at Janie's, for instance. I'm now a partner on the Niche Press magazine. I'm so excited for that.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
Sissy Cosmetics has landed in the U.S. We have other distributors coming behind us. We will be putting a lot of tools in place. Um, we'll be able to have revenue for other
Mhm.
business owners. So Janie and I have worked on a software development where we're able to teach education, the natural hair products, leadership, build and instill the womanhood, you know,
Mhm.
um, workshops, book clubs, all these things are coming out of companies, that's one of the things. So, how did we get here? Janie had a vision. I had a vision. We both were on the same level. We both believed. and we wasn't afraid to dominate the game. We
Mhm.
weren't afraid to connect. It wasn't, oh, this is my thing or this is my thing. We gave, we served, and we sold into each other's business. Janie was my client, and then sooner or later Janie became the ambassador for She Exists. And then I turned around and I became her partner in Sisse Cosmetics. And
Mhm.
we build each other together, you know, and that's what it's about. And now we're building a dynasty, you know, and it's knowing each other's lane, each other's weakness and our strengths, and also trusting each other. That played
Mhm.
a big part of our success. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
she's down there, and I think she started out with about maybe 5 women, and I think now it's like 40. There's a platform
Wow.
that's there, Social Africa. There's going to be another software that will now be transitioning to.
Mhm.
I know some of the conferences that we've held that I've never posted held up to 400 to 500 people, and
Mhm.
there's stocks in Africa. There's a development system. There's people putting their money together. They're doing the cleaning business. They're incorporating hotels. So there's so many other things, and it
Mhm.
goes back into pivoting. Goes back
Mhm.
into pivoting. So
And
those, yeah, because I've been talking. You got something to say, Mario?
no, I mean, I just, I'm just so impressed. And what I wanted to say, because at some point you said, this is something that you had for years.
Ah,
And it might feel like, you are an overnight success, but this is something that you've been planning. And when you shift in your mind, things started to happen. Like you said, the mindset really did that because you already had everything lined up. You were just missing the mindset and the faith. And as soon
mm,
as you were aligned with that, everything is just, now really going really fast. And,
yes.
and for people, because that's what they see from the outside, it's
Yeah.
they have the feeling that, oh, she's an overnight, success. And I think that's important that you explain now to them. This is where it started. I didn't start,
Mm,
but
absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely. And
Mm-hmm.
I oftentimes tell people, I was She Exists way before, the social
Mm-hmm.
media thing. And the only reason why I was kind of forced to get on here is because people were saying, "Oh, you don't know anything about Facebook. You ain't on Instagram." I'm like, "No, because I'm always in the trenches. Take
Mm-hmm.
me in a community. I'm shaking hands. I wind up in places, and I'm connecting. This is what I do. So
Mm-hmm.
coming on the media for me was totally different. I wasn't computer savvy. I'm still learning that, but I'm an asset to any organization. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, I'm in the PR state now, and that's amazing. So this is another form of connecting, another
Mm-hmm.
platform of reaching out. Working with a couple of icons, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not about, oh, it's a celebrity status. You know what it is? It's about, this is another person that was once making baby steps like me, and
Mm-hmm.
they persevere and they push and they never gave up, and interviewing and seeing where they are today, it's like, wow,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and for that, for me, it's a blessing because it gives me hope and faith to know, wow, it's coming. But
Mm-hmm.
one of the things, because my verbiage is definitely different, building generational wealth. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we oftentimes we say, "Oh, we're gonna make my coins." We have to talk. No, we're we're in a time where our verbiage has to be totally different now.
Mm-hmm.
Our mindset, the whole leveling up thing, have to be so strategic. The planning,
Mm-hmm.
um, and where we see ourselves is so vital to
Mhm.
where we see ourselves,
Mhm.
and I didn't start thinking big until I got into this pandemic, because I
Mhm.
was looking at this force that I couldn't see, that were wearing these masks, and I'm saying, and
Mhm.
I'm talking to the pandemic, I'm like, you're not going to beat me. I can't see you. I don't know you. People are dying, and I'm going to beat you. And I said that out loud because it showed me.
Mhm.
I'm in my cleaning business. I have that, my Miracle Solutions that I'm franchising now, and we lost so many contracts, and
Mhm.
then we had to lose staff. So when you look at this, where what would we have done if we didn't put up a 401k plan, or we didn't have anything saved, So
Mhm.
when you're going and going and going and going and using and absorbing all this money, you look and you say you're still not free. And
Mhm.
that's what I said to myself. I'm still not free. Where's
Mhm.
where's freedom? Because freedom would have allowed me to still pay people's salary,
Mhm.
and that couldn't happen. So that was a reality check for me. More so
Mhm.
was, I have to think bigger than this, because if it's not the pandemic, what's next, right?
Mhm.
And then the reality, what if we would have passed from COVID and we have children and grandchildren, then what? So
Mhm.
all those things started to make me think. And it also, this is a number one thing, you have to be careful of the company you keep.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
want to
Mhm.
say it again. You have to be careful of the company you keep, because
Mhm.
that really dictates your future. It
Mhm.
dictates how you grow, and it dictates your whole thinking process, you know. So, and I'm dropping these nuggets because this is all part of pivoting.
Mhm.
Pivoting, the life insurance thing, having an attorney. How many of us have an attorney? We only get an attorney if something happens. So we need to start thinking on different scales of our
Mhm.
lives. And we have to actually see ourselves there. See ourselves cutting the $1 million check, see ourselves, um, donating to the hospitals and stuff like that.
Mhm.
See yourselves giving back in education, you know and when you can start seeing yourself and literally feeling and
Mhm.
walking into those steps and tap into your success, then whatever you speak will
Mhm.
come to you. The
Mhm.
power
Mhm.
of then your power of your tongue, keeping positive, you know, not making things about you and the emotions aspects, and trying to keep that energy clear. And no matter what was going on around me, through the pitfalls and through the traps and all that other stuff, I was still focusing on that prize.
Mhm.
I was
Mhm.
still focusing on my projects. I was still focusing on the things that I needed to do, because what I realized, that moment, if I had looked back, then I would have been
Stuck there.
looking back and then focusing on all the negative and all the
Mhm.
smoke, and I wouldn't see what today had for me.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I say this because I know oftentimes when life happens, we turn the TV off, right?
Mhm.
We
Mhm. Mhm.
press the power button and we stop. And then we go back and we try to fix it. We go back, or we're bitter. And I'm just talking with anything, and
Mhm.
we
Mhm.
focus on that problem, and then now we're consumed of that problem, and then now the only thing we see is that problem, and then
Mhm.
now we're not allowing God to manifest his hands to walk us through that
Mhm.
storm. You see, because it's just like when it's raining and it's storming, you can't see anything, right?
Mhm.
but we got the hazard lights, right? You put your car in gear, you slow down, you pull over. The whole point to these events is for us to learn, because those tools is the key to the
Mhm.
next big thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's important. What you said is, when we are in a situation like that, we tend to look back, we tend to focus on what we've lost, we tend to focus on all that is negative around us. And that's what actually make us stuck where we are. We have to
Yeah,
continue to see the future, see the positivity, see ourselves grow, see ourselves
yeah,
expand. And that's the most difficult part for a lot of us. It's, what how do you do that? And that's the key with that. So just a small break. I've seen some people. There's Chicas is she's watching from Nigeria, so she's enjoying the conversation from there. We
yes.
have Sabita as well, so
Hey,
enjoying here, and she actually agree multitasking is key to ensure bandwidth, and she's
yeah,
also agree with work by faith, not by sight, which is an important thing. So we're going to have a break and to put a video, and we'll talk about the event that is coming up tomorrow, and
yes,
you'll give us more insight on that.
She Exists would like to welcome you to How Can Women Pivot During the First Quarter of the Pandemic? Featuring special guest, actress Rhonda Mormon, and representing CSA Cosmetics, our sponsor Janine Van Throw. Our host, Reverend Kenya Williams. Featuring speakers including our keynote speaker, Hollywood executive and author, Cheryl Cobb, professional roller skater, celebrity choreographer, Camille Boyd Gilmore, saxophonist, Asia DeBose, Galit Ventura Rosen, Mario Tokima, Elvira Guzman, Leslie Thomas Mitchell, motivational speaker, Dalila Brazul, Sabrina Protic, and Tiffany L. Hollinger. And also featuring Dreamland Productions. Please join us on January 31st from 1 to 3 for a wonderful evening live on Eventbrite.
Wow.
wow.
We are back with Queen Janelle. And so tell us everything about this event, what's, coming up. And, I really don't want anybody to miss out because there's going to be so much. So just, over to you to explain a little bit what it's all about and the specific about the event.
Right. Well, I want to shout out to Sammy, my production team guy. It's the only one, but we've known each other for over 16 years. So
Mm,
he's developing, and me and him made that beat together. So
mm-hmm,
I just wanted to say that. So pivoting, guys, pivoting. We have the amazing executive Cheryl Cobb. She's worked for so many artists, Fantasia, Brian McKnight. We can go on and on, but she's bringing her experience in terms of management versus manager, and they're not the same. So that's part of pivoting, because we feel that we need to wear all these hats, and
mm-hmm,
sometimes we might need to go out there and get your self management, or manager.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Shout out to aspirational Kalia Buzel. She is a aspirational speaker. We needed to change that, but time, permitted. So she's going to be talking about the inspiring part of pivoting,
Mhm.
and why it is healthy to pivot.
Mhm.
We have Leslie Mitchell. Leslie's going to talk about credit and realty. We have the Sabrina Project. She is going to talk about life insurance and why we need life insurance to pivot.
Mhm.
We have Camille Boyd. She's going to do a special performance for us. She has opened up for Patti LaBelle and Jody Watley, so she's going to do some entertainment for us. We have this saxophone, Deasia Dabuz. She is going to blow her heart out. She's really good. She was at the She Exists Globals Awards. We
Mhm.
have Mario, you, of course. Woo! I can't wait to see you talk about the whole global, the collaboration, and just
Mhm.
just everything. You know what you're bringing to the table.
Mhm.
We have actress Rhonda Mormon. Wow, she is a powerhouse. She's going
Mhm.
to talk about the whole film, the whole pivoting, the whole success rate. We have Galit. She's going to talk about sales and success. We have Tiffany Hollinger. She's going to talk about the investing side,
Mhm.
of pivoting, why it's important to pivot, investing. We also have Guzman, Elvira Guzman, and she is going to talk about the whole communication sector of
Mhm.
pivoting, because there's so many ways that we can pivot, and we have to have all those things. Your credit have to be
Mhm.
right, life insurance, like I said, your attorney, legal documentation, because hey, I wasn't often talking like this. I
Mhm.
feel big time a couple of months ago. Didn't have my contracts right, and this is why I want to give back. I want to help the people that are going through their trials and tribulations when it comes to business, because we don't
Mhm.
know it all. We don't know it all. I'm still learning,
Exactly.
you
Mhm.
know. And I don't want to forget our amazing host, Reverend Kenyon Williams. She will
Mhm.
be hosting. And I don't want to leave out Janie. Janie's our sponsor. She is honestly the machine behind all this education fundamental things that she's bringing to the table. We have Anna Nichols. Anna Nichols has a magazine called The Cover by Dreamland Production. We will
Mhm.
be featured
Oh,
in her
fantastic.
magazine. Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes, yes. And I have a special perk for us. I will be writing an article in Sheen about the pivoting.
Mhm.
So this is going to be inspiring girls that want to have fun, but also want to pivot. It's a hard time. It's difficult times. I know we tend to live in our world, Mario. We
Mhm.
tend to really get caught up in the things that we're doing, but there are other businesses that are not striving like us. There are other
Mhm.
businesses that are not thriving like us, and there are other businesses that are struggling. And
Mhm.
if we can pour, you know, a little bit of education, or just a little bit of knowledge,
Mhm.
we can help the community. Because I had my hands out, can I get some help? I had my hands out. I've reached out
Mhm.
and I got nothing. And I had to say, you know what? It is what it is, and I had to go and learn on my own. And
Mhm.
I had to, have a lot of humility, because I don't want anything from any business owner. If
Mhm.
anything, I'm an asset, and that's what I tell people. This platform is to really help you to the next level, or to give you a connection that you need for your next blueprint.
Mhm. And
Yeah.
that's important because, like you said, sometimes we don't know where to ask, and we still have to move because it's about keeping moving. Because if we stop and we start to complain and look back, that's it. we're losing the plot, we're losing the
Eyesight.
vision, we're losing everything, the mission. So we have to keep going, even if it's hard. Keep going, pushing. If nobody is there, try different
Right.
things,
That's
and
right.
we're gonna fall, but keep keep going. And that's really the most important message here. Even if there's no help, keep going.
Keep
You
going.
you'll find help, on the
Yes.
way.
That's
uh,
right.
yeah, so that's really what people have to do, and I'm really looking forward to this platform. I know that people are going to learn a lot, because it's
Yes.
really a lot of expertise, a lot of great entrepreneurs who have a lot to say.
Yes.
And please, make sure to attend. It's free. I mean,
Yes.
I don't even, I can't even even say anything, because really sharing all this specialized knowledge and all this expertise for free. I mean, you wouldn't we wouldn't get it anywhere. So it's really important
Yes.
that you get to register. It's happening tomorrow. You still have time, and it's during the weekend. So really take the time to educate yourself. Take the time to go to the next level of your greatness, because that's what it's all about. Instead of staying where you are, start to step up and really extend your territory, extend your
Yes.
influence, extend your wealth,
Yes.
because that's what it's all about. Because wealth will give you freedom. So if you want to be free, come and educate yourself with the expert, and really start to implement and keep going and keep moving forward. So before we leave the platform, any particular message that you want to leave us with, um, and
Well, on the pivoting too, each speaker is given a 3 minute for a Q&A. So even
mhm,
if you're a speaker or you're in the audience and you have a question, and you also want to connect as well, it's an open door. But I also wanted to kind of share Janie's piece to Sisse Cosmetics, if
mhm,
it's okay.
yeah, no problem. So Jenny
Yeah.
is doing a great work,
Yes.
and
Yes.
yeah, it's definitely worth sharing. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the products and what's special about those products and where we can find them.
Yes, yes. So, Sisse Cosmetics, it's natural hair products. I begin to say to Janie, you need to, become a doctor, a technician with this. This woman really believes in this product. And not only that, she takes the time to break down the ingredients to new clients. However, what I admired about her during this pandemic was that she did a 90-day program where she invited people in, send them free products, and had them test it on their hair so she can learn more about the products on what type of hair you have. And
Mhm,
we went through this process together. We've learned, we've tried different things, but me, I want to talk about my experience. I battled with psoriasis for a very long time,
mhm,
where that's why I do wear, wigs, weave, because I flake a lot. And mind you, these products was not skin products, right? Shampoo and conditioner. I used it and I battled with psoriasis for about 4 years. Do you know I have not flaked at all? Flaked at
wow,
all. And
wow,
one of the things of my health was I would have to get a lot of steroids going on, and a lot of prescriptions for the just getting all these creams because it was chronic, right? And now I'm like free of the itching, free of the flakes, the plaques, the side of my hair, the face, and everything. So I really, like, when I started, I was like, hey, Janie, do you know I'm using this for this? And she was like, what? And as I began to use these products, when
mhm,
I realized, because I'm growing my natural hair underneath, because I'm going natural soon, just give me a little bit more time. But
mhm,
it also helps you embrace your whole natural
Mhm,
look, your whole natural hair. And then I started to think, why am I wearing wigs or weaves? But
mhm,
there's part of the insecurity kicks in, and for me, my hair's thin and the flakes would just fall. So
mhm,
this product for me has helped me in so many areas of the scalp. And we're doing a lot of things with this product. We're pushing it into certain places. We're getting ready to have a studio here for it. So there's so much
right,
amazing things that
mhm,
is going on for Cystic Cosmetics, and I'm proud of Janie, because Janie came a long way. She's been in the company now for 16 years. She's owned the company.
mhm,
So for it to come to the US and take off like that, I'm just so
mhm,
happy to be a part of this project. This is an
mhm.
amazing project that we're doing.
And that's what collaboration is all about. And that's what this pandemic brought to us, this message.
Yes.
You don't have to do it on your own. You have to partner, especially when you have some problems in an
Yeah.
area. Get another person with the right expertise and
Yes.
blend everything, collaborate, and obviously the trust has to be there, like you mentioned. But
Mhm.
it's really another reiteration of the collaboration being key, especially in time of challenges
Yeah.
where we need it. So thank you, Queen. As you
Thanks
can
for
see,
having
she
me.
is always a queen in everything that she does. Here
Uh
is her wearing all different hats, if I can say, and she's expanding, she's growing, she's definitely going toward freedom, and
yes.
please come up with her tomorrow, because you also gonna get a secret, and she's gonna help you to start, to start. I mean,
Yes.
it's just like a baby. You're gonna have your baby step, but then after a while, you'll be able to run. So thank you so much, Quincy, Janelle, and
Yes.
always a pleasure to host you on
Always.
during hours, because you always come up with some exciting news and some exciting projects. So for the audience, please make sure you register for the event tomorrow. Janelle has been posting on a platform. I've been posting as well, so it's all over
Yes.
the place. You can't miss it, and make sure you come and learn from those who've done it, and those who
Yes.
are willing to share freely, because it's a free event.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
not a problem. So thank you so much again.
Thanks, Mario. Thank you.
And, uh, and I see you tomorrow anyway, uh,
Yes.
because we're going to share the platform together. And
Absolutely.
to the audience, I'll see you next week. Next week, I'm going to have a lady, an expert in finance and accounting from Zimbabwe. So it's going to
Oh,
be
wow.
interesting, an interesting show as well. So for now on, take care, and
Okay. Take care,
see
Mario.
you
Bye
tomorrow.
bye.
Bye
Okay.
bye.